Hey guys, welcome back. Today is salsa making day. It's not an instructional video of how you should make salsa. This is how we make salsa. This is the way we've always made salsa. Never had a problem. We like how this tastes. So this is just how Chris and Tara make salsa. So there's lots of different ways, there's lots of different recipes, and this is just the one that we use. We're going to try to make 8 batches of salsa today.
Tip number 1.
No. Okay, so we are going to have a few tips and tricks that we use that help us out, be able to help you guys out. We don't claim to be the utmost best American salsa makers, but it's worked for us, and this is how we like it. One tip is going to be wear old clothes, because like I have a hole in my shirt. This is stuff that you're most likely going to get stained up.
Have old dish towels that you don't worry about getting stained up.
A lot of them. So that's tip number 1. Another tip is you're going to need a lot of ice. So when we blanch the tomatoes, we'll have them in the hot water till the skins start to crack, and then we'll put them in ice cold water. So we'll have ice and water in here, and then they'll be super easy to peel the skins off. Okay guys, so this is the part some of you may not like. We like Mrs. Wages. This is the kind we use. We do mix our own peppers and onions and garlic, jalapenos in with it, but we like to use this. We like the way it tastes. And we have tried some different recipes, like the Ball Canning Books recipe and some other ones. We really come back to this one. We like the taste of it, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. See guys, when these skins start to crack like this, that means they're ready to come out. So we'll take them out of here, put them in the ice water.
Now we're just going to go ahead and cut the cores out of the tomatoes, and whatever leftover skin might still be on them. And we like to go ahead and put our tomatoes into the blender and chop them up a little bit. Chris doesn't like chunky salsa, so ours is more thinner consistency than a chunky salsa. And Mac and Patty from Southern Blessed Homestead, I know you guys love your chunky salsa, but Chris doesn't. He likes the least amount of chunks he can get.
Okay, just like I don't like my salsa too chunky, Tara doesn't like her salsa too hot. So I've seeded some jalapenos, trying to decide for me to go with. We just use this little chopper thing here. I should have left them a little frozen. They were easier to cut when they were.
And since we don't have a big enough stove, we go ahead and use this little electric hot plate to go ahead and get our canner water going. So when we are ready, we'll have the hot water bath ready to go.
So for the first batch we're making is basically four packets, so it's 4 batches of salsa for the first go around. So we're gonna put in 2 onions, which we like sweet onion. I put in 4 jalapenos, and then we're gonna put 3 bell peppers chopped up. So this is the problem some people have an issue with when you use vegetables other than just tomatoes to be pressure canned. Like if you're going to put in peppers and onions and things like that. We've always used just the hot water bath, and we've used it a couple of years after we made it, and it's always been good, and that's the way we're going to keep going. So that's just our recipe. My dad did it the same way.
We're going to try this new chopper we have. We've never used it yet.
Let's see what it looks like. Hey, looks pretty good. That should be the last of the tomatoes for this batch. We weren't able to make salsa last year because we didn't have a garden last year. It was so wet and muddy in the spring, we just never did get it in time, and we ran out of salsa to be probably in the fall of the prior year, so we went like 2 years without homemade salsa, so we are definitely ready for some more. I don't know, folks. It's going to be a tight fit to get all the rest in here, but it's going to be up to the top. We'll see. I don't know what, I do think I have the paperwork to come with this, in case anybody, I don't even remember where we got it, but
Works good.
it looks like it does a good job. Mrs. Wages, it's just, once you get it all, everything in it you want, you need to bring it to a boil and then reduce the heat and let it simmer for 10 minutes. It's ready. It's ready to eat at that point, but then we'll put it in the jars and start that process. So like I said, we made 4 packets at once, which each packet is supposed to take 6 pounds of tomatoes. 24 pounds of tomatoes. I think I ended up doing 1.5 of the onions. I put 4 jalapenos in, and one last thing, we're going to mince up with some garlic and throw in here, because I think that's about all we'll have the room for. And this is probably going to be one heck of a mess when it starts to boil.
We went ahead and we've washed all of our jars and sterilized them in the dishwasher, and we've kept them in there so that they are hot, because you don't want to ladle hot salsa into the cold jar that you might crack your jars. So we usually, right now we're doing quarts. We have done pints in the past, and we might do a little bit of mixture of both quarts and pints, but
we found this glass funnel at an antique store one day, and I just thought it was the neatest thing, so. You need to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice per jar. So it did make the 10 quarts like we were hoping, and we had a little bit left over for us to sample. Now you want to take like a damp paper towel, clean of course, and make sure you don't have any of that salsa on the edge. So you put your lid on.
we still put our lids in the hot water. I know some are saying that you don't have to do that. They don't require you to do that anymore.
You want to add some vinegar to your hot water. That'll help keep your jars from getting all cloudy.
And then our chopper that Chris has been using that works really well. This right here is, I'll go ahead and show you the kind that it is. It's called a Kitchen King Pro, the ultimate food preparation station. And it really does work really well. So, and then we still have about 7 more minutes. I'm processing on our first batch of our salsa. We have 5 quarts in there right now, and then we still have the other 5 waiting. And then we're going to go ahead, and we still have, you can see our bag of chips that we've already been trying some of the salsa. So there's our tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and we have to make 1 more batch of it, and then we'll be done. Go ahead and get you a good book on canning, and we recommend the Ball canning book. This is the one that we have. Here's one. Oh, 2 pops.
Alright guys, here we go, starting with batch number 2. Kind of had things a little more ready to go on this one. We started skinning the tomatoes. Here was first. Alright, batch number 2. The first batch had the jalapenos in it. And we tried it and it was good, so we made this batch without it.
I thought you put some in there. I thought you were going to.
We're just leaving it medium like it says on the package for you. Alright. Don't want to forget to add your lemon juice. It's 2 tablespoons per quart. So if you were just doing pints, you just put 1 in. So I'm just finishing up putting the lids and rings on, but I was showing that we ended up filling all 10 jars. And that's all that's left, so I think I did a pretty good job measuring out the tomatoes before we started. And the little electric hot plate has been doing great. Look at this.
Yeah.
I just expected like to get the water warming up so it wouldn't take as long to boil, but it's not boiling yet. was boiling before.
Yeah, it's starting to boil.
So more than I expected out of that.
So that's been a great help for us since.
Speeds the
Turn
process.
towards meat. There you go. I don't think it's hot.
It's good.
Is it? Is it good, sis?
Mm-hmm. It's not spicy.
It has a real good flavor, but Chris won't think it's hot, I'm sure, but it's a little warm.